Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Friday night Delve Requisite. What? Yes, it is Friday. Nobody else was streaming anything, and we were going to pre-record this to be released at a later time, but since nobody was doing it now, I hit the go live button. So here we are. This is Delve Requisite taking over the Friday stream on Proficiency Bonus from now until we're done, or until we realize that somebody was planning to stream tonight and they kick me off. We are here playing Monster of the Week. That is a tabletop RPG created by Michael Sands and produced by Evil Hat Productions. It is a powered by the Apocalypse style game. Everything is a 2d6 plus a modifier type of roll. It is based loosely on like Monster of the Week style TV shows. Think Buffy, think Supernatural, think the Scooby-Doo, whatever your kind of particular flavor is, X-Files, other ones that I'm sure, Fringe. Let's just name Monster of the Week TV shows for the next hour and 30 minutes. We played on Tuesday during our normal Tuesday stream for Delve Requisite. We're playing here again tonight to continue / potentially complete our kind of one-off Monster of the Week session. So before we jump into it, let me give all you guys a recap. So you will remember the group of you players consisting of Bob Wesley, one name like Cher or Bono, Isolde, Alter Gray, Frank Tabernacle, and then the two currently missing members of the group, Ollie Larry and Caractacus Thorn, who will be mysteriously off camera until such a time as those players arrive or don't arrive, whichever.
They got arrested by the RA.
Yeah, they got held up by the RA. The group of you are currently working a sort of a job, sort of an interview, sort of a rite of passage for an organization that calls themselves the Library. Turns out monsters exist in the world. It turns out magic exists. It turns out that things do in fact go bump in the night. And while most people are resilient to seeing that truth, some people are not. The group of you happen to be a group of such people. Because of this, the Library, an organization that uses its considerable resources and power to combat those things and keep them from fully breaking down the barrier between that world and the world of the mundane, has brought you on and is kind of putting you through your paces. They have sent you to Doylestown, Pennsylvania, to a university there, where a mysterious, unexplained death occurred. A young man by the name of Lewis the Buck Buckley, a basketball star at the university, perished at the fraternity Triple Phi, their Valentine's Day party. During the party, Lewis the Buck Buckley was witnessed to be flung from a second-story window to land at meeting his demise on the lawn below outside of the Triple Phi house, only to find that the room that he was flung from was locked from the inside and he had been alone. And stranger still, there had been a layer of frost on his body on the lawn, even though it was an unusually warm February night. The group of you arrived in Pennsylvania. You had a brief pit stop at a Wawa, where you kind of came up with the game plan that you were going to pretend to be a group of dads on a tour for your collective prospective student we really didn't establish what the relationship that you had as dads to Isolde was.
I think I was in continuing education. I was coming back to
Some
school
of you were continuing
at a later
educations.
age.
Caractacus, who's not here tonight, was an adjunct professor. But you came onto the campus to find that a sort of a candlelight vigil was in progress for Lewis the Buckley. Members of the 555 fraternity were there, members of the student body. You guys kind of split up and sort of did some crowd work to try and discover what was going on. Frank Tabernacle, you had a discussion with Bradford. I don't know what I wrote for his last name there. It looks like Bradford Conford, but that doesn't seem right.
I just had Bradford.
Bradford, he was a sorority brother, or fraternity brother of the Buck. Learned that there was an active police investigation, but they really had no leads, so nobody was really currently watching the 555 fraternity house. Isolde, using your psychic powers of mind reading, you kind of gathered from the crowd that they had been, the general census was that, this whole thing was a big mystery, and nobody really knew what was going on. But at least a portion of the crowd, some of the crowd were there in earnest, some of the crowd were there, kind of performatively, to be seen being sad as opposed to really being sad. Eventually, Bob and Ollie, you guys made your way into the nearby dormitory, because during the process of you guys being outside, a commotion was kicked up as a body was hurled from a third-story window. That sort of kicked off an array of things. Caractacus Thorn had been in the teacher's lounge, where he told some teachers that he taught theoretical chairs as an adjunct professor. And he met a few characters who, as soon as I find the page there, I can give you their names. He met... he met an individual by the name of Professor Eric Clevenger, an elderly gentleman in his 60s, early 70s perhaps. He met another professor whose name I did not write down, and he met the librarian, an individual by the name of...
Suspicious makes suspicious.
No, he's got a name because he's in the book. You would have thought I would have looked at this before we started playing, but I definitely didn't. Samuel Ellis Pritchard. Samuel Ellis Pritchard seemed to indicate that he had some sort of an interest or a belief in the supernatural or the arcane. Eric Clevenger was largely ignored by Caractacus, so we didn't really get much, if anything, on him. And the third person who was there was so irrelevant to the story that I don't remember who they were, so we're going to pretend that they didn't exist. The pair who went into the dormitory, you guys went upstairs. You searched the dormitory of a pair of young women by the name of Shelley and Ellie. In the room, you found a ritual circle hidden under a rug. You found a book which turned out to have been taken from checked out from the school's library that had rituals and witchcraft stuff in it. That had been checked out by one Shelley Young. Alter Gray, you pretended to be a medic to keep people away from the for sure, frost-covered corpse of the young woman who was thrown from that very dorm. And Isolde, you interrupted the potential murder of a young woman who you had a vision of before coming here. You guys have identified that what you seem to be dealing with is some sort of a spirit of vengeance that takes the form of a young woman in kind of a tie-dyed sundress with a broken neck and a caved-in back of her head. She is, as far as you can tell, who threw the young woman out of the window on the 3rd floor. She is who tried to murder the other young woman who Isolde was able to stop. And she has now vanished into thin air, leaving no trace. Isolde, you found, through some cell phone sleight of hand, you discovered that the young woman was kind of being flirtatious with another young man while sending a text message to someone who you presume to have been her boyfriend or her romantic interest, lying to him about where she was and what she was doing. And those of you who encountered the spirit directly were kind of like forced to watch as your own sort of like romantic fidelities or transgressions were dragged to the surface and examined. We left off as Frank Tabernacle, you reached the Triple Phi frat house. So that is where we will pick up as you like run up to the lawn of this house. You see there is like police tape around the yard where there is like an indentation where presumably the body of the buck hit the ground the previous few nights. There is a window on the 2nd floor that has been like cardboarded over.
So I'm going to walk up just to the front, knowing I probably have very little time, and I'm just going to see if the front door is open.
Roll.
That beautiful bean footage.
That beautiful bean footage. Go ahead and roll to act under pressure. So roll plus cool.
Ooh. 9.
A 9. On a 7 to 9, you get a worse outcome, a choice, or a price to pay. The door is unlocked. You open it, but as you open it, an alarm system immediately begins to sound.
Okay. So now I know I have less time. Is there like an alarm panel right there on the wall?
Yeah. There is. You look, you see it's, it's got the, or I guess I should say the alarm is not sounding. The alarm is doing that thing where it's like beep, 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 where you have like 40 seconds to disarm it before it does trigger.
Okay. Do I get the sense that it's like motion sensor or like the door?
The door, you look, you see that there's one of those little like two-way things, and when you open the door, it triggered the thing. But you do, as you look, you do see there is like motion sensors, like there's one like hanging up in the hallway.
So do I see the like number panel to like type
You do
in the
see the
code?
number panel that you like, if you could guess the code, you could disarm it.
I'm not lucky enough that there's a sticky note with the number on it right under it.
No, there's no sticky note. You're gonna have to take a guess.
Okay. I gotta take a guess. So I'm gonna type in, do I know the Bucks jersey number?
I don't see how you
Because Frank Jr. is
but Frank Jr. is famously fabricated. Like Frank
No,
Jr.
he's my actual teenage son. I don't know that he actually liked the Doylestown Bulls, but
I would say you could roll plus sharp to like try and see how this goes.
okay. I don't want to cop out and use luck. I want to let it just happen. A 9.
A 9. Okay, so with a 9, what I will say is, I'm gonna give you there. It is a 4 sequence, 4 digit like code. I'm gonna let you guess 4 numbers. I'm already thinking of them. If you guess the correct 4 numbers, you disarm the alarm. If you don't, you like fuck it up and the alarm goes off.
So they're 4 different numbers.
You have no way of knowing that. You just know that 4 numbers have to be pressed, and then like the pound sign.
Okay. I'm gonna press 4539.
453. Okay, you boop, 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 boop. Hit enter, and how do alarm systems work? It probably doesn't immediately go off, right? Like you press 4539.
Usually
Like
beeps to tell me that I typed the
goes
wrong
like beep,
thing.
beep, beep. Yeah,
Yeah.
wrong code.
Okay, so now I probably have like 30 seconds left.
Yeah. I'll give you one. You'll get one more shot if you can take one more guess. If you don't get it right, you run out of time. The alarm starts going.
This isn't like Wordle where I know which letters are correct.
No,
and which-
unfortunately not.
Okay.
What a weird alarm system.
Okay, so I'm gonna try 2610.
Okay, so you and it goes like, and then the
I
alarm
have like
starts
a
going
1
like,
in 10,000 chance
boop,
of getting this
boop,
right.
boop, 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 boop. So the alarm is now going off.
It was probably
okay.
like 1, 2, 3, 4 or something.
It absolutely was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, okay, well, I say for
Uh,
Frat, I'm
111.
surprised it's not 6969.
Nope,
but-
it was 1, 2, 3, 4 for sure. So you have no. So you fail. You try 2 random codes. Like shit. The alarm now is sounding. So you know you are like you have like from now until like whenever the cops show up. And being that a murder happened here within the last couple of weeks, you figure it's probably not long. So like you do not have much time in this house. What do you want to do?
Okay, I guess I foiled all my plans. I'm gonna run upstairs to the Bucks' room
Okay.
and just see if I can like open it up and
Okay.
toss the place real quick.
You run upstairs. The door is closed. There is like "Do not cross" police tape. You like reach. You open. The door opens. You're able to just like run through the police tape and you run into the room.
Okay, I would like to use one of my abilities, which is called Oops, and it's if you want to stumble across something important, tell the keeper you will find something important and useful, although not necessarily related to your immediate problems.
Okay. Is there any role associated with that?
No, I just get it.
Okay. You run into the room. You smash the door open. You run. You're like looking around, like, okay, shit. Gotta find a clue. The cops are coming. I have to get out of here. I can't go back to jail. You look around and you notice that the room has not been kept particularly tidy. It is a typical like college jock's room. There's like laundry all over the floor, and it kind of there's like a distinct sort of funk in the air, sort of just a general musk in the room. But you're sort of looking around, and as you are looking around, you hear. And you look and you see through like the cotton knit fabric of a pair of like crumpled boxer shorts on the ground, you see the square light up of the screen of a cell phone as like a notification of some sort has come in and has like lit the screen of a cell phone.
Okay, I'm going to kick the boxers aside
Okay.
without it, and then try to pick up the
Yep,
phone.
you pick up a cell phone.
Okay. So I have still seconds left, do you think? Am I
You
getting a
have-
sense of, do I like look out? If I look out, do I see anything?
You
Approaching?
don't see or hear anything yet, but like you kind of figure like time is limited. You could probably take like one more narrative action here, and then like you got to get the hell out of here, or you're gonna run into trouble
Okay.
with law coming.
So the only thing that I can think of to do is there any chance that there's a black light in this room, as all college dorms have?
Ooh,
Are you sure you want to?
I'm not going to focus on certain areas of the room, just where I think the
How is everything glowing?
roll.
Oh God, it's a Jackson Pollock painting.
Roll plus sharp to investigate a mystery.
let me just make sure I don't have anything for this. You wouldn't call this immediate danger, would you?
No, you are not in immediate
Okay.
danger just yet.
I rolled 2 6s plus
Nice.
sharp, so 12.
Okay, on a 10 plus, so you can hold 2, which
Okay.
means you get like 2 sort of investigative questions here. And since you actually rolled a 12, do you have that thing open?
Yeah,
On
this is act under pressure, right?
On a 10 right, on an investigate a mystery on a 10 plus, You hold 2. You can ask 2 of the following questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can it hurt? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? On a 12 plus, one of those questions can be literally any question you want to ask, and not just one of the ones listed.
I would like to know how to defeat the monster. Like what we need to do to defeat the monster.
Okay. I don't think that's an answer that I know how to give you that answer from here. I think what I'll give you with that is you witnessed the window chucking that happened as you started to run. You're on the group walkie-talkie. So you do already know at this point that it is a ghost. It is a spirit of vengeance. You have this cell phone, which you presume is probably Buck's, as far as you would assume. I think the best answer that I can give to that of how do we defeat the monster is it kind of clicks for you that okay, the monster came after this creature that came after Buck. It came after this other person. It came after a third person. We see it seems to have something to do with infidelity. You kind of piece together okay, we need to find a way to either banish it or to settle whatever the score is that motivates this thing. Otherwise, it seems to be just continuing to exact vengeance on
anyone with infidelity,
philanderers or infidelity, stuff like that. I think that's kind of what you how to do that. You have no idea without doing further research, but that sort of that concept pops into your head and that makes sense.
Okay, my other question is what can hurt it? If we wanted to just is that the banishment? Is that the same thing? We can't kill it, we can banish it?
I think what can hurt it? The other thing I think I'll give you is so your established back lore for your character, right? Is that he's sort of a stay-at-home dad who has decided he's watched enough TV that he's I'm gonna go out and hunt monsters.
Trying to solve all of the unsolved mysteries.
Right, you're okay. Everything I've ever seen on TV says in terms of if I have to hurt or fight a ghost, a good weapon against ghost spirits is rock salt.
Rock salt. Okay.
Probably can't kill it with rock salt, but if you need something to tangle with it while you guys are trying to figure something out, rock salt. Okay. You're I definitely saw that on a show about 2 hunky brothers who fought undead guys.
All right. With that, knowing I'm out of time, I'm gonna book it and try to go out the back door.
Okay.
On my way out, I want to try to see if I see just a thermometer, a probe thermometer, or something they might have in the kitchen on the way out.
Okay. Roll to act under pressure. So roll plus cool, and I will use that for both your escape and whether you catch sight of this thermometer.
Plus cool. 8.
An 8. Okay. So on a 7-8, the keeper is going to give you a worse outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay. You run down the stairs. You run through the back door. Or you run to the kitchen, which opens out onto a door that leads onto the back patio out of the back of the house. As you get down there, you spot that there is an old style mercury thermometer hung in the window. You glance at that. What is it you're looking to glean on this?
I'm trying to take it with me to see that if we're close to a ghost, if the temperature drops.
Okay.
significantly. So I want to have it as like a
Okay.
way that sets the ghost.
You take. All right. Then here's what we'll say: is like you run, you get your hand on the door, you open the door, you look. Oh, there's the thermometer. You run over and you grab it and you run back to the kitchen door, and the like second and a half that it takes you to like go and grab that thermometer and get back, and like before you get out the door, front door behind you poof, kicks open, and two police officers come into the room, and like as you run, they like catch a glimpse of you, and they yell like "Stop!" But then you are out the door, and you like you run for it. So you.
I'm a known.
You right, yeah. You like you run to the backyard. You like hop a fence. You run. The policemen are like on foot. There's like a little bit of a some like kind of tents, hiding in like a tree house in a neighbor, like a barn. They don't find you, but like the police now have your vague description.
Okay. I relay what I know over the walkie-talkie and just say, they kind of know. My cover's a little blown here. I'm gonna have to stay on the outskirts, but maybe I'll look for some rock salt to kind of let you guys know, because that's gonna help with the ghost. But I relay the stuff about the banishment and
Make your way. Bob's gonna think for a moment about what he knows of the area. He's gonna tell him to try and make his way to some place that's on the far outskirts of the campus.
Actually, thinking about my character, I feel like I would have rock salt in my car, being the dad. Like it would be in my minivan.
Yeah.
You absolutely
just
have like
the
a
wheels
bag
are gonna
of, a bag
turn,
of
and
snow
I'm gonna
melts.
want to
Yes,
pour
for
it in
sure.
front. Yeah,
For
okay.
sure.
All right, so I'm gonna make my way back to my minivan to get
Okay.
the salt, and then if I can't like sneak my way through campus, I'll find a way to like somebody.
Conveniently,
I would say-
D lot where we established that you guys parked is sort of at like the outskirt end of campus. So
Okay.
like, that's not a bad place if you guys are looking to regroup. Like it's kind of away
Yeah.
from all of the commotion.
Yeah, Alta will probably say like, I'll meet you at the van or whatever, and then like,
Yeah,
just head
we
there.
need-
I have nothing else I'm doing anyway.
Yeah, we need to move to the satellite facility. We need to do a bit of research.
Yeah, I guess we'll
Is
meet
the
back at
satellite
the van.
facility sheets?
No.
The satellite
Not going.
facility is one of Adam's characters. Like,
Oh, right.
perks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the sheets. It's totally.
It's not the
No,
sheets.
It is most definitely not a sheets.
Okay, you guys are able to
D-lot,
easily
past
enough.
the lake.
You guys walk past the pond. You head up past the barn that has the maintenance or the grounds crew, the grounds department functions out of there, and you meet out in D-lot, back at your cadre of vehicles.
I go into the back, like behind the driver's seat of my minivan, and I pull out a cooler that has some Miller High Life in it, just
Yep.
as a part
okay.
of our decompressing.
Hey,
I offer them to everybody.
Nice cool glass of water. I'll take it.
I accept it and go. We gotta do some driving. This may be flavored water, but no. I've already had a close call with potential security.
All right, so what's the next step?
Next step is, it's a ghost.
It's a vengeance
Want to
ghost?
see? Yeah, it
Doesn't
appears.
like Peters.
Yeah, I gotta look at it. It looks like a woman. Looks like her neck was broken. Also looks like she received some sort of blunt force trauma to the back of her head.
She also doesn't like when you take her playthings away. So
Since
I'm gonna
they're
need some trouble.
since
ghost
they're
death.
not here, the two relevant characters that would have something to say in this situation will give you the information that like Ollie goes like, found this book. Got checked out of the library, and then Caractacus is like, "Oh, if I talked to the librarian. He's a real ding dong. He seems to be into supernatural stuff and kind of a jackass."
He probably suggested the book to poor kid.
Question. Do all of us need to go to the satellite facility, or should I go check out the library and pretend I'm sad that my boyfriend cheated on me?
If you're going, you shouldn't go alone, I think.
I can go with if
I mean, I can't go.
No,
if your
you're
cover's
going with
blown
me.
and you need to get to the satellite
Yeah.
facility, then you guys should go together, and then we can.
Yeah, you can go, but I would leave the 6-foot hunk of steel.
Yeah.
That's probably not gonna fly on campus.
You have a
Isolde
smaller
awkwardly
weapon?
takes out her shotgun she's had shoved down the back of her hoodie the whole time.
Do you have anything smaller?
Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the motorcycle, open one of the little bag flaps, and get a very large, very long trench coat and just put it on. This is better.
That's
No one will know.
that's not
You
better.
know what kind of campus we're on, right? I think I'm good, and I put it back.
Fair enough. Bob's gonna flick out an arm and
Flick my hood up for extra.
hold out a silver dagger.
Yeah, just-
This you could probably conceal a bit better.
I have something smaller too. I'm okay.
Try not to get arrested, Alter.
Don't worry.
Don't worry, the cops are distracted on the other side of campus. You got some time.
He can run faster, and I look like a frail, innocent little girl. I think we'll be okay.
Fine. All right. If you can, my thinking is get back to the facility, see if I can research out a banishment.
I'm gonna see if I can get a disguise. I need to change my clothes.
Wait a second.
Figure
You
out-
said something about rock salt, right?
Oh yeah, I have that. Do you want to take that with you?
No,
And I go into my
I don't think I can alter the bullets in my shotgun in the middle of the library, but I think that stuff would go good in that.
I might be able to do something magically, but we'll hold on to a bunch of
Well,
it.
do you want to take the gun and the bullets with you?
I can absolutely replace your
In the
pellets
library.
with rock salt. Yeah, it's fine. Nobody goes in there anyway.
There's those like back corner cubbies that no one goes to. That
No, there's not at this place.
No.
Well, I can try it magically.
Sure. I lay it out.
I don't
You
do any of
have
that
to
stuff.
actually.
So
You just- they just
He's
come
He
gonna-
out.
doesn't like me, so I'd rather be prepared.
He's gonna go into the car, come back, because he too has a shotgun. He's gonna set a couple of shells out. He's gonna look around, make sure nobody's looking. Draw a sword, long sword out from the car as well. Concentrate on it for a moment. A bunch of runes are gonna appear on the blade, and he's going to try to do magic to alter the shells from buckshot to rock salt.
well, we're gonna shoot people with rock salt. That's awesome.
So
So go ahead and roll me a use magic. So plus weird.
As the runes are glowing, I'm like, this shit'll never not be weird.
nice. 11.
An 11. Okay, so a 10 plus. The magic works without issues. You choose the effect. I'm not gonna like go down the list here. I think like in the context of this, like you do what you set out to do here with no side effects of any sort. Like you managed to swap the like the buckshot for the salt.
Yeah. So I hold up a bunch of buckshot in one hand and 4 shells in the other. There you go.
So you have 4. Mark that for yourself. You have 4 rock salt shotgun shells.
Also, that activates another ability, that old black magic. When you use magic, you can ask a question from the investigate a mystery move as your effect.
Interesting. Okay. And what's your question?
Um. Hmm. We've already covered most of the important things. There's a question I want to ask, but it's not one of those. But I have a hunch. I don't know how smart Bob is.
That's a question.
Okay. The question is, this spirit showed up here. Is it somebody who's tied to this place? And that would, it's more of a hunch, so it's probably something that he wants to go back to the satellite facility and maybe try
Right.
and research out.
So I think.
Or better yet, he might ask, you two are going to the library? Look up students who passed away. On
There
campus.
you go. Okay. So yeah, because I was gonna say like phrase it like, can you phrase it in a way that falls into one of the like standard array of questions? I think what sort of creature is it? And I think that's a good way to put that. To say like, you kind of look, you've seen this thing now.
Yeah.
Once very much up close, and maybe a second time from a distance, depending on where you were positioned when it attacked the young woman that Isolde saved. I think that's a good hunch. Like, what, who is this? Sort of is a good hunch.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at, but it's not like I can ask you because I mean, I don't know the history.
That's not something you can pull out of thin air. But I will tell you, like, you kind of have that. You have that hunch, and you sort of think about vengeance, spirits, and and just sort of the things that you know, and you say like, I think you come to the conclusion. You're like, all right. Probably this is the pattern here. This thing was summoned. It is attacking people with a specific sort of intention. It seems like there is probably a story in the history of this school to be found that will help give us further clarification. Which then kind of leads you to be like, to tell them to like, like if you're going, to look up, whatever, see if you can find something about, students who have died on this campus.
Frank and I are going to head back to the satellite facility, see if we can pick up what's needed for a banishment ritual or necessary, something to force it into a certain point to try and
before we go, I'm gonna go. Oh shit! In the commotion, I almost forgot. I'm gonna take out the Buck's phone.
Yeah.
Like I found this. This is his phone. I don't know if this will tell us anything about. Is it unlocked or
do I have
to guess numbers
You're able
again?
to like.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're able to open the screen, and you see that the notification that like blinked the phone open. That like let you see it was like just like a push notification from DoorDash telling him that he can get like 10% off of like a pizza or whatever. But you see that there are several notifications of like missed calls and text messages.
Do I see who they're from, or is it just like
do a
missed call,
quick bit of
phone number?
research.
I say, did this clown leave message preview on? Because
let me look at on my unlocked phone. No, so you cannot see. You can see dog butt.
Okay.
There's a dog butt that comes into the equation.
dog butt.
Just put him on your lap.
That's no dog. That's your wife.
Dog twerk.
He's off. So you cannot see who they're from. You can just see there are missed calls and messages. So you have to.
Is there a pin code for this to unlock it?
There is a pin code that you can use to unlock it.
Okay, I'm gonna take it back to the facility, and hopefully we have a fingerprint dusting kit.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see if I can figure out like where the fingerprints are on there to like or grease patterns, whatever, for the button spots. So
He's like a people. Is that what you said?
While they are also requisition him a change of clothes, so he's a little less
Okay.
obvious. You may have to leave the New Balance behind there, man.
I got other colors. It's fine in the locker.
All right, let's. So as and then we're gonna split the party here. So, it is Frank and Bob going to the satellite library. What is this? Is it a library? What's the satellite office?
I'm gonna say it's one of those coffee shop places that that's the front, and there's probably a code phrase. Oh God, help me. Let me think. You have that book by that guy about that thing that was 2, 3, 5 years ago. I think the cover was blue.
The person at the coffee shop bookstore hybrid place kind of looks at you for a minute, and they like punch in a couple of like numbers on the register, and a thing on the register goes like and it like pops up, and it where like the total would be displayed, it like turns around, and a little like scanner like scans your face and then like turns back around, and they like look back at it for a second, and they go, I know exactly the book that you're looking for, right this way. And they turn and they just like open the door to like the back room of the cafe.
Oh, I'm gonna have to fill out so much damn paperwork.
As we're walking back, I'm like, do they do like Folgers here? Like, what do they serve? Like the good stuff, like Folgers? Because every dad, I feel like, drinks Folgers.
You can ask.
No, like $6 for a medium coffee? That's insane.
Don't you go to Starbucks?
No, I brew a pot of coffee with my Folgers every morning. It's in the big red container.
I have a coffee maker. I have a coffee maker from 1994. I brew my coffee and then I chew it.
Waking up. You also might want to write down that passphrase if we ever are going to come back here again, because I already don't remember it.
It's a one-time use.
Oh, okay.
If you're brought into the organization, they'll let you know if you're going to be operating in an area what the passphrase is.
Okay.
Because God help me, I'm glad I remembered it. I was about to say the covers of red, and I'm pretty sure that would authorize that person out.
Yeah, they would have shot you immediately.
The thing would have turned around and it would just been like gas in your face.
Probably.
All right, so you guys you go into the stock room of the cafe. You like shift aside a pallet of like creamers, and you walk through a doorway, and you walk into like, you know, the like, you know, in Men in Black when they like go into like the Men in Black headquarters the first time, and they walk into that like huge, like everything is like sterile white, and there's a bunch of like aliens and monsters and shit like walking around. You guys walk into that, and you're in the satellite office of the library here in Doylestown, Pennsylvania.
Well, I'll wave at a few folks. I mean, I don't know them personally, but yeah.
You get a few nods. You get like a you know, like a tip of the hat. You get a couple of like tentacles waved in your direction. General sort of greetings. So you're in the satellite office of the library, which is exactly as I guess as useful and as well fleshed out as you explain it to me, as this is a part of your character's feature and not a thing that I have prepared anything for. So it's all on you here.
More than likely, it's probably got it has desks and terminals, much like the Men in Black office. Maybe not quite as retro-futuristic, but in addition to as any library should, stocks of bookshelves with not only books but scrolls and probably a few tablets. I imagine it's got an armory, supplies of various kinds for summoning, banishing, castings of certain magics and rituals. I will make a request to use a terminal to start looking up means of banishments of vengeance spirits.
Okay. And what is Frank Tabernacle doing?
I'm going to do two things. I'm going to go through the cafe's lost and found box to find some like new clothes.
Okay.
So I'm picturing like a hoodie and like a pair of sunglasses and a
Go ahead
hat.
and roll plus cool for me real quick.
10.
10. Okay. You do what you set out to do. You are able to find an adequate like disguise of university themed clothes, probably some of them.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like a pair of sunglasses, a hoodie with the logo of the university. You adequately disguise yourself. If you had rolled low, you were definitely going to have to wear a pair of like skin tight sweatpants that said juicy on the ass. But you rolled low enough that you avoided that. Unless it's something that you want, then
No. I mean, it's something that I want, but it's not something that, that Frank wants. So,
fair enough.
The other thing I was going to do was I'm just going to try to open this to see if I can find the numbers for the cell phone. A way to unlock it.
Okay. You said you rolled
So like
a 10?
I rolled a 10 on the cool.
Oh, no, that's a cool roll. Okay, so for the phone, I'm going to need you to roll to investigate a mystery.
Okay.
That's a roll plus sharp.
Plus sharp. 5.
You type a bunch of numbers. Here's what I'll say, just because it's funny. It is not 1, 2, 3, 4 anymore. I'll give you that at least that piece of information.
I was gonna try 1, 1, 1, 1.
I'm gonna write down 4 numbers.
Tense music really makes this.
I've written down 4 numbers.
Okay.
You guess those 4 numbers, you unlock the phone. If you do not, you fail too many times and it locks permanently.
By 1 in 10,000 chance.
You have one chance.
I think I have to go with 6969.
No, unfortunately,
Damn it.
you type in 6, 9, 6, and then when you hit that second 9, it goes like wrong, and it is, and you are locked out of the phone.
I don't think I can do anything else with it if I'm locked out. So
You are locked out at this point. You cannot get into the phone.
I'll wait.
To see what's going on there. All right. Bob. So you're gonna make a roll plus sharp from. You're gonna roll to investigate a mystery as well.
Okay. Let's see, just double check. That is a 9.
A 9. 7 and 9, you hold 1. Okay, so you get 1 question from the investigate a mystery list that you can ask me as the keeper.
In that case, what harms it?
All right, what can hurt it?
Yeah, what can hurt it?
You do research on all sorts of vengeance spirits and vengeful ghosts and things of that nature. And what you find in, pretty much all of the available resources is that you have a couple of avenues to deal with a creature of this type. If it is indeed the spirit of a deceased person who died a violent or a death in such a way that left them left an imprint on their soul that they were seeking justice from beyond the grave. It is possible that if you satisfy the conditions that like spirit considers to be like having achieved justice, it will essentially consider its like unfinished business complete, and it will move on. Your resources cite that unfortunately the problem with this method in a lot of cases is that spirits that have devolved to this point, oftentimes the thing that will like satisfy their need for vengeance is often like in and of itself an act of like some sort of atrocity or like murder, as they are after horrid, bloody, murderous vengeance. That is not always the case. Sometimes some sort of a reconciliation from the person that wronged them, or the situation that caused their vengeful spirit is enough. So that is one avenue that you learn about from this investigation. You learn that like the spirit can be exorcised. That is, a kind of a more blunt force option. You don't need to spend the time like trying to figure things out with it. You can just exercise the thing. That is much more difficult to do. The sort of third option is kind of a hybrid between the two, where if you are able to like gather enough information to sort of like uncover the truth of what it was that created the spirit, you can perform a ritual that will kind of bridge the gap between both. Will banish it slash put it to rest, without necessarily like achieving justice for its spirit, or without necessarily forcibly like kicking it from the mortal coil. Pretty much all three of those options, you come to realize, require that you need to learn what the spirit is, where it came from, how it was summoned, what its business is.
Well, as for how it was summoned, we got a book.
You do have a book.
So I will consult the book. I vaguely recall there was a dog-eared page
Yes.
that was mentioned.
The dog-eared page. I'm not even gonna make a rule for this. The dog-eared page that you examine, that you look at. It is not a page for summoning a vengeance spirit. It is a page for summoning a demon.
You what, mate?
Did you say demon?
Demon. Summoning and binding a demon.
Possible they botched it, but it's also possible that it took a human. Oh, we need more information.
I have. This thing's got the internet, right? This computer of yours, you can search things.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just? I remember Professor Thorne had mentioned something about the faculty member that was interested in this type of stuff and had a connection to the Buck. Is there anything about him? If you search.
I will conduct a search of the person's name and university.
The individual
Samuel Ellis
Pritchard is the university librarian. Go ahead and roll to investigate a mystery.
I need it. 10.
10. Okay, hold 2, so you can get. Go ahead and ask 2 questions off of that list.
Really help me if I actually. is that question list?
The question list
kind
is what happened here, and like we can manipulate these a little bit to make them like more relevant to the atmosphere of the question. But your list is what happened here, what sort of creature is it, what can it do, what can hurt it, where did it go, what was it going to do, and what is being concealed here.
I like that last one.
Yeah, the first question is, what's concealed here? I'll look into see if there's something about this like a bio or something, and see if there's other things that
Okay.
pop up as I'm looking through like page 3 of the search results, page 4.
Okay. So you get one other question. Anything else that you're interested in?
What happened here? In that context, guy's a librarian, which means he had to get an advanced degree. Has he himself written stuff?
Okay.
Like, why is he into magic shit, right? Like, that was
Yeah,
also...
Here's what I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Those are two good questions that I think will fit this. You Google this guy's name. You Google in relation to that. You find his like staff profile on the university's page. It's nothing of any interest. You learn that he's been there for about 12 years, and he's the librarian. Then that's it. It is a completely standard like blob, whatever, blurb about him. You also find as you dig into like page 2-3, you find some links to his like personal social media stuff. You find his Instagram, you find his Twitter, you find his Tinder profile, and what you find from those things in the vein of the two questions that you asked of what is being concealed here, and the other one was what happened here, right?
Yep.
You find that like in some of his personal stuff, and it's like personal stuff in that like you find it via the magic of Google, because like all of his personal accounts use like his like middle name or something like some other moniker instead of like his real full name. But you find his accounts, and you find that he is definitely into like his primary two interests seem to be the occult and like getting as much involved in like the hot goss as he possibly can, no matter what the situation. So like he is all about like a lot of his like Instagram and a lot of his like tweets and things like that relate to like vacillate between like he's going to be trying out a new like crystal energy transference ritual tonight, and the tarot reading was so deep this week, and the person that got kicked off of the Australian version of Love Island is a goddamn travesty, and we should burn that country to the ground. So it's a lot of like magical bullshit and like reality TV bullshit is like seems to be his thing. And then every once in a while you get interspersed like something that you gauge to be like a commentary on like there's something like, oh my god, a few months ago there's like a series of like live tweets of him like observing a with all the context you have, what you gauge to be like a girlfriend and boyfriend like having a extremely quiet breakup in the library, and you get the sense that he was just like watching this and like, oh my god, the drama is real, like, oh my god, yes, like, oh, she just called him a cheating bastard, like, oh my god, he told her that, a lot of that. So he seems to be like a real drama whore. and also is into magical shit. That's what you kind of get from that. In terms of the more direct version of this, one of his most recent tweets just says, maybe I need to be more careful about who I share the truth with. And then it's like, hashtag heartbroken, hashtag this is so hard, like a bunch of like self-absorbed bullshit hashtags. But it is a tweet that like kind of gives you the impression that like something happened, and he seems to have like either taken credit or inserted himself into it somehow. And the date, in fact, lines up only like a couple of days after the Buck died at the Valentine's Day party. It's like March 3rd.
I'm sending this like via text to the library group that's heading there, because they might come across him.
Okay.
Like he's
so
probably a little unhinged.
He played with things he really shouldn't have. I'd bet my dental policy. Really, I'm not actually betting that, by the way. But
An actual fey creature that like works for the library is like, I'm sorry, what? You bet what now?
no.
Darling, what was that about betting your teeth or something? Are you sure you don't want to make a wager? I could help
No.
you with this investigation that you're doing.
Appreciated, but I must respectfully decline. He's going to look over at Frank. Whatever. No. Thank
Okay. Then let's take a jump over to the library then, to Isolde and Alter. You guys head to the library. There is a student behind the front desk that barely pays you any mind as you walk in. The library is it has a kind of like a central entrance atrium. There is a very small room directly ahead of you that looks to be largely like decorative. There's not really anything in there. There's no tables or chairs really in there to sit. It's lined with like books stacked to the ceiling. There is a writing desk and things set up there, but it's behind like a velvet rope. And then to your left and your right, there are like wings of the library. They are both fairly like self-contained, like they're not extremely large rooms, but it's like two singular square rooms with like shelves of books and things like that. There are like tables and little like independent study nooks and things like that. And there are a couple of like rooms with doors that are like private enclosed study rooms, and then there is like a door that leads down to a lower level.
We don't see what's his face up here.
None of you have seen him, so I don't think you would know.
Well,
even
if
if
they
you
were
did.
messaging us his information, I probably would have Googled him as well to find his like.
Yeah, sure, you can do that.
His
You
profile.
do not see him in the like the vicinity. It is a like
What
clearly a
was his-
student, a female student is like at the front desk right now.
What were you saying?
Sorry, what was his like online handle he keeps using for different things?
Oh, I don't think I said one, did I?
Oh, okay,
You said it
I-
was kind of
I think I just said that it's like instead of being like Samuel Ellis Pritchard, it's like Sam. Let's call it like I don't know.
Goss Sam.
Yes, XOXO Gossip Girl Sam is his is his handle.
Sure.
That's right. I watched Gossip Girl. Who said I didn't?
You say I'm institutionalized.
Okay, since we don't see him right away, I look at Alter. Do you want to split up and look for him? Do you want to just ask for his office? What do you want to do?
How long has that girl been standing at that desk if the librarian's clearly not here?
You
He's
go
like
ask her.
100% on her phone behind the desk, like just sitting. Like,
Oh,
sitting in a
okay.
chair.
Okay, I thought it was like somebody waiting for the librarian to show up.
No. She's like working the
She's
library. It is a student
Okay,
working
okay.
the library desk.
Okay.
She's just behind the desk, like
Gotcha. What was the name
on
of
her
that
phone.
book that we're looking for?
I will pass the title of the book that I have in my possession.
I forgot what the title of the book that you have in your possession is.
The magic book, you mean?
The magic
the
ghosty
spell
binding
book.
one. The spell book. Yeah.
Uh,
So I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I forgot what I called it.
Alright, we're just gonna hand wave that part because I don't remember.
That's fine. Yeah, but
I'm gonna go like.
character knows. That's no problem.
Yeah. Alta's just gonna go like, kind of like stand there and wait, and then like, maybe wait like 30 seconds and just like. Hey, I'm looking for a book. I can't seem to find it on the shelf. Hello?
Yeah. Sorry. What? You need what?
I'm looking for a book, but I can't seem to find it on the shelf. Can you tell me if you still have it or have a different copy somewhere?
Yeah. What are you looking for?
Insert title here.
Insert title here. She goes, okay, and your she kind of like looks at you for the first time, like legit. She goes like, your student ID number?
Oh, I'm sorry. I actually just transferred. I don't have it on me.
Roll to manipulate somebody. Roll, I think it's plus cool.
Charm.
Charm plus roll plus charm.
Oh boy. How's a 7 do?
They'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show them that you mean it. She goes, I'm not really supposed to like do stuff unless you have your student ID.
Mid sentence, I'm just like pulling $100 bill out of my wallet and just like sliding it slowly on the table.
she goes like, they have a real like it's a policy because they want to make sure you have your student ID so that you're a student, because like a lot of real like creeps come in and they try to like they come in and they like go to the library, and then like we had a whole thing where we had to like stop a bunch of like dudes from like they were just, like, jerking off in the and you like slide the $100 bill, and she's like, but I see that you have your student ID. And she takes the $100 bill and she goes like, hang on, okay, what was that title again? And she types it in, and she's like, I don't that's not in the card catalog for the library. Are you sure the title's right?
I mean, I was honestly told to go pick it up. I don't know that it's right. I was told it would be here.
She kind of shrugs. She's like, the title that you gave me, it's not in the system.
Huh. Is there a secret? Is there a secret library?
Do you you know this is like a real college, right? This is not Hogwarts. We don't have a restricted section of like secret books.
Okay. Is there a chance that there's an extraordinarily lazy person that works here that refused to add it to the collection at some point in the past 20 years?
Yes.
Where would
Yes.
those books go?
She just goes like, she like gestures at the library at large. She's like, dude, I'm a soil sciences major. I'm doing this for like work study.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna pull out $200 more and just like hand it to her.
She takes and she's like, and I am suddenly out sick for my shift at the library today, and she takes your $300 and she leaves.
She leaves and like leaves the door, like goes out the door. I'm going around.
Yep.
I'm jumping on the computer.
Okay.
I
You
was
can
waiting
see
for you
as
guys to do that.
as you come around and go to the computer, you can see that like she typed the title that Alter gave her into like the library's like database of whatever library software they use, and there's like a thing on the screen that says like no results found.
I searched the author.
You guys don't have an author because the book does not have an author listed.
Check the directory for whoever's in charge here.
Like, you mean like the phone directory for like the internal library system?
No, the digital one that says like this guy's in charge here.
Yeah,
Clearly
like I
they
mean,
have a-
like what good is finding him on here do me if we can't find him if he's not standing here? I'll go looking for his information.
You start there's like a Rolodex. There's like a literal Rolodex on the desk, and you start like flipping through that. And as you're like doing that, you hear, "What are you doing back there? You are not Kelsey, and I am positive that Kelsey was on shift tonight, and I have not been told that any new work study students here were going to be working in the library. So what the F?"
Telepathy into his brain.
Okay.
This
It
poor
says
librarian.
part of it, you can also manipulate someone without speaking.
Okay.
So I'm going to make him remember that he got a note that there were 2 new work study students starting today.
Shh. Do you have to roll for that?
You still roll moves as normal, except people will not expect the weirdness of your mental communications. I don't know if that gives me like
Roll to act under pressure. So roll plus cool.
that's a 10. I
You
have
do
no
what you
plus.
set out to do. He's like, "What are you doing here?" Actually, never mind. Janessa she did send me an email that a sophomore and a very, very too old to be a freshman student were going to be starting their work study today. I'm sorry, it has been a long day. An extremely rude adjunct professor that teaches a bullshit class was a total douche to me.
I understand.
Not everybody's parents can pay for college.
Yeah,
I got here when I could.
I just cover his face with my hand and to push him back a little. And then I just even though I don't like this guy, even though Thorn is also kind of grating, I'm allied to my friends here. But I smile at this man in front of me and I just say, I'm Marissa, because I'm not going to give him my real name. And Kelsey was here, but she started to look like she was gonna vomit, and she didn't want to vomit on the books, so she ran out, and that's why she didn't come get you. And I was looking for your phone number for your office to call you.
Oh, that's Marissa. That basic bitch. He's like, you know why she probably had to vomit, right?
One of those?
Marissa.
Oh, so Kelsey's a party girl? Ew,
I
don't
could
wanna
tell
party
you.
girl.
I could tell you some things
Okay.
about Kelsey.
I'm assuming with my telepathy, I kind of got like, and from their snooping, I got the Goss vibe, so I'm fully leaning into
Yeah.
this. So like, I'm his buddy.
I could tell you some things about Kelsey that would. I mean, if you you're a bad girl like me, would make your day. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, I mean, I would love to hear it, but that reminds me, and I think you're the only person who I've met in this place that's cultured enough to like it, but have you ever heard of that podcast called Normal Gossip? Where it's just people that gossip.
Oh my god. I feel like that podcast is my spirit animal, to be honest.
I agree.
If a podcast could be a spirit animal, if I could choose what my Patronus was, it would be that podcast.
It's so good. What is your favorite episode? I think mine is it's a tie. I mean, I don't know. They're only two seasons in. I'm waiting to see what third season is.
I mean, my favorite episode is definitely Becky takes sexy pictures and doesn't think anybody knows that she does it, but we totally all do. Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, that's tops. That's tops, and I high five him.
He high fives you back.
Side note, for real, that's an actual podcast.
Is it really?
Anyway, moving on. Moving on with my fake life here. And I just smile at him and say, so how can we help now that the drunk girl is gone?
He's like, all right, just do what you're doing. Be at the front desk. If people need to check out books, or let's be realistic, the third season of Lost on DVD, check them out of the library, and that's sort of it.
Are there any extra fun books here that only we get to know about because we're on staff now?
He goes, let me ask you this question before I answer your question. What is your astrological sign, and what are the minor and major I wish the keeper here knew more Crystal Girl lingo, but I don't.
Hand wave.
Your auras.
The magic of hand wave.
The magic of hand wave will be, again, I use telepathy to read what he wants to hear, and I say that.
He doesn't give a shit what you say.
Okay.
As long as you say like an astrological sign and then some bullshit about like I'm a like, oh my god, I'm like a Pisces, but I'm like a major whatever and a minor this thing, like, because it is all truly utterly meaningless and like doesn't mean anything and is like fully gullible idiocy. Like as soon as he hears that you're like, as soon as you like validate his thing about it, he's gonna be like, yes, queen.
Okay. I'm going to smile at him and be like, well, I wish I knew you were this cool. I would have brought my whole chart, but okay. So I am a Virgo star sign, but I'm a rising Pisces with a moon sign in Scorpio. So it's just
He goes like,
fun mix.
oh my god. We must have been like best friends in a previous life. He's like,
He's all exhausted on the inside from all of this.
He goes, there's like, I totally have like, he's like, I keep in my office, there's like totally a collection of books that like, yeah, the university is like, whatever. They're like, oh my god, like you can't put those in the card catalog because like they're scientifically unproven, or they're patently provably bullshit, or they're utter nonsense only believed by gullible assholes, whatever, like. But no, like, I've got you, and like, if you need to see the real stuff, I can show it to you anytime.
Perfect. Maybe a little bit later. I guess I should actually do some work first, and then I'll come by.
I mean, like, I can cover.
Okay. And I immediately leave him at the front desk.
You guys walk away, and immediately
God.
immediately Samuel Ellis Pritchard is like, my god, so like what's with you in trench coat? Are you guys like doing it? Like
Oh, he's old. I mean,
he is old, but like
yeah, he's got.
I saw
trench
like I
coat.
could see
He's got a motorcycle. It's pretty freaking
Yeah.
hot.
Oh
Actually.
my god, he's got a motorcycle. I was just gonna say
Yeah.
that I could see his abs through his trench coat and like, come on,
I
girl.
whipped my arm.
Oh yeah,
for his and I walked-
I forgot he was jacked and was wearing a fucking belly shirt.
Yep.
Yeah, you are. I'm also making sure I'm subtly like it looks like I'm playing with my hair, but I'm holding down like the comms so they all
So
have to
everybody
fucking
can hear
hear
it. Yeah,
this.
sure.
So they all have to hear this horrible shit that I'm going through right now.
As
So you
we are
guys-
driving back.
you guys go back to the office. You see it is like
I go look
it's
for
fairly standard, but he does have like there's like stacks of books and some other things like in his in his office, and he's like this is where I keep a lot of like the books that are personally important to me, but aren't really for the general population. What what kind of thing are you into, or like are you trying to like manifest your your perfect semester? Are you trying to like what's your plan?
I don't know. I mean, a perfect semester would be great. Don't get me wrong. Kind of leaning more towards like luck or easy money or something. Maybe something to keep people from messing with me, because you know how judgy all these people are here.
He goes like, a word of advice. You should focus on the things that you want to manifest for yourself, and focus on like the energies and the magics that can make them happen. You don't want to go down the route of trying to interfere with other people or get back at other people. That's just like, it's just not boss bitch energy, and you don't need that in your life.
So what's the books that you recommend then?
He like brings out a bunch of books on like, it's a bunch of like how to have the hottest girl summer, and how to like 3 easy steps to manifest your most rockinest boss bitch energy, and like the things that he gives you are like clearly like pseudo like astrology girl bullshit stuff. Like you don't get the vibe of like true magic from any of the things that he's like handing to you.
As I'm like looking at all of these, and we're just chatting because he's chatterboxing, and I let him kind of talk about gossipy things on campus because I assume it's very easy to get him to go back that route.
Yes, it is.
When we're back on like the scandals of campus, I want to ask him, I know you always hear all the horror stories about like people going to school and getting hurt, but like has anyone ever like died on this campus? Because like this place is old. I'm sure some weird stuff has happened here, and it's my dorm seems a little creepy because the building's so old. So I'm just
He's like,
I want to
he
make
goes
sure
like,
it's all good energy in my room.
he's like, you mean besides the
Kid the other day and the girl earlier, I guess, but like
he's like,
I mean,
oh my god,
before
like
that.
2 this week, like,
yeah,
come
that's
on.
a bit much, but like that's why I'm asking you, because you would know all of this, because it feels like it had to have happened before, right? Doesn't energy just kind of like hang?
Oh my god, he goes, okay, he's like, what dorm do you live in? He's like, oh my god, wait, don't tell me. He's like, you definitely live in Ross Hall, don't you?
How'd you know?
He's like,
What happened in Ross Hall? Should I move dorms?
he goes, I'm not telling you what to do, because they'd fire me, but if
I won't
I
tell.
were you, I would definitely. Well, you don't have to worry about it because it's a freshman dorm, and you don't have to be there anymore after next year. But that dorm is bad news. He's like, oh my god, hang on. He's like, I'll show you. I'll be right back. And he gets up and he leaves his office. And Alter, you see Samuel come out of his office and like go and open the door and go downstairs into like the lower level of the library. You have like an amount of time before he returns to do stuff if you want to.
I mean, I'm kind of just like stalling for time so she can get
Sure.
information. I guess Alter's probably gonna like look for a coffee maker in the immediate vicinity and hope for the best to try
Nope.
to really sell it.
It's a library. There's not a coffee maker in the library randomly, unnecessarily.
What kind of bullshit?
That's an insane question, and you find nothing.
Okay, then I guess I'll just attempt to help any students who bother coming in. And
Okay.
I'm gonna take the role of clerk.
I'm just gonna lean into this and
roll,
then like.
roll to act under pressure.
All right, let's see.
Like, how does the scanner work?
Act under pressure is plus cool. Thanks.
This is plus cool.
Oh no, it's an 8.
An 8. Okay. All right. We'll come back to that. Samuel comes
No,
out.
no.
Samuel comes out like a couple minutes later. He comes back up. He goes back to his office. He glances over at you, Alter, where there is like, at the present moment, there's a line of like 3 or 4 people, and you're like frantically, like tapping on the computer. He comes back into his office, and he puts in front of you like a printout of a microfiche that he like fished out from somewhere in the archives downstairs. And he's like, this is like this is like the tea at a temperature level to which I can only aspire to have tea occur on this campus these days. And you find it is a newspaper article from the 60s, and it describes the mysterious death of a young woman by the name of Evelyn Bradshaw, who was found thrown out of her window on the 3rd floor of Ross Hall to her death. The article describes it as the police ruling it as a suicide, and not investigating further. And immediately you will put together that the room listed, you see like a picture of like the broken window in Ross Hall. It is the exact room that the body of presumably Miss Shelley Young was hurled about an hour ago.
I just gotta go, oh my god, but the girl earlier of this,
He goes like, oh my god, it's the same room.
I think so. I'll have to go check when I get back to my dorm later, but like I have to count the windows and stuff,
Oh my
you know?
god. No, it totally is. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah,
Thoughts
of
and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. But oh my god. The same room. That
Okay,
is like
need
delectable.
some-
Oh my god. Marisha? Is that Marissa? Is that what you said your name was?
I don't even
Marissa.
remember, sure, whatever he called me.
I think it was
Rowan.
Marissa. He goes, Marissa, listen to me. Listen to me. We maybe have on our hands here an opportunity to start a true crime podcast that will storm the nation. Be very careful about who you tell this information to. 2 murders,
Nobody.
50 years apart in the same dorm room. Oh my god.
Is it? Wait, what day did Evelyn die? And I look for the date that she fell out the window.
I don't know. It was the 60s, and I'm bad
But
at
is that
math.
in the article?
But it's definitely on the article, so I'm going to get my calculator out.
Well, I mean, if it's 50 years and
He said it was 50
Okay.
years. He's bad at math, just purportedly. Ooh, he was off by a little bit. Let's call it 50. Let's call it 59 years. 1963.
okay, I'm telling nobody. This is between you and me.
We're gonna be so
Is it the
famous.
same? Is it the same day though? Is it the same?
No, it's not.
Just checking. If we're gonna start a true crime podcast, we gotta have all our dates right. Okay, I have a microphone in my room from when my brother tried to Twitch stream. It was awful. He was bad at it. It's fine. I stole it. It's not a big deal.
Oh my god.
So I'll bring that over.
What even would a group of people who are bad at Twitch streaming look like? I can't even can't
It's
even
sad.
imagine what that might look like.
So I'll bring that tomorrow when I come for my shift.
Okay.
And we'll keep that all here because this cannot leave this room. We can't do it in my dorm room. My roommate is nosy as hell. And also I don't think you should be in a freshman dorm room.
Wait a minute.
Hold on,
He's your.
No, not trench coat.
Oh. Okay. All right. All right.
No. My
Thank God.
girl-
He
girl-
seems deeply unsafe to leave on a college campus.
I'd really
No.
like to cut back and see how he's doing.
yeah. How long is the
at
line
that
now?
at that exact moment we cut back to him being like, oh, the computer has like
Just
a
take the
big
book.
red error message on it.
Just leave with the book. Just leave with the book.
Take the book. I trust you. Just bring it back.
Is there like a sign that says like away from desk or bathroom break?
Back
or
in 5 minutes.
Back in 5 minutes.
Roll to act under pressure.
11 plus 1 is 12.
12. You may choose to do either what you wanted to do, or so you can do what you want to do plus something extra, or what you wanted to do to absolute perfection. What you want to do in this case being run away
Leave.
from having to run the front desk of this library with no information on how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, so that's exactly what's gonna happen. I'm going to direct all questions to the librarian Sam, and tell them that he should be back any moment, and then just fucking leave.
Okay. Then you do that, and you just go out the front door, and the line of 12 people that have lined up is who were on the verge of being anarchy, and just taking all of the library books and DVDs that they could and leaving. We're like, I mean, okay, I guess if the librarian's coming back, we'll just wait. And they just wait in an orderly line. And you just flee. You flee the premises as fast as you can. Okay.
I hope that leaves a good out for our other for Isolde to also just leave.
You leave. You see there is a strangely orderly line of students looking to check things out at a fully empty librarian desk. Samuel Ellis Pritchett is in his office, frantically googling best podcast hosting site. You see he is distracted, and so you have an absolutely open entry to do whatever you want in this moment.
Part of me feels like we still might need this guy, and I can't ruin this. The other part of me is I should just ditch while I can. So I'm gonna go behind the counter, and I'm gonna try to do this. If I fail, I'm running.
Okay, so you're gonna try and do a bunch of library reception work. Okay, roll to.
I love how you can do anything in the world in fantasy land of
I
tabletop role
can't.
playing, and you're checking out people at a library.
Still might need this librarian.
Monster of the week. Let's go.
Roll.
If we still need
Roll
him,
to act under pressure. Roll plus cool.
Yeah, no. No, that's 6.
A 6. You you're like,
You know,
okay, I got this
something
under
like-
control, and you run up and you go like, all right, and you like take the first book from somebody and you like open the cover and you take the like scanner thing and you like you click the thing to scan the barcode, but like the combination of whatever it was that Alter had done to the computer before you got there, that like all it takes is you like boop, you click the thing and the whole screen of the computer goes like fully red. And like the second guy in line behind the girl who's like book you're checking out goes like, they don't know what they're doing here. And then he just goes like, library riot, and all hell breaks loose.
Okay, if all hell actually breaks loose and they all start just scattering, I'm going to scatter with them,
Okay,
and I'm just gonna run out the door.
you run out the door as like bedlam
And I call
unfolds.
Alter on the comms, just going, "What did you do?" And I'm running.
I pressed F a whole bunch of times and it did nothing.
That's to pay respects.
Well, I disrespected that computer real bad.
And it's almost time. Okay.
So you run out the front door. Okay. So you guys are nobody is actively engaged in a thing now. So the information that you have at hand, you are fairly certain that this is a vengeful spirit. It was summoned, as far as you can tell, while one of the two roommates in that room, Shelley Young, as you presume, was trying to summon, based on the dog-eared page, a demon. Summoned the spirit of what you can at best gauge to be the vengeful ghost of a young woman named Evelyn Bradshaw, who died mysteriously in the 60s in that very same room many years before. Now this ghost, loosed upon the campus, is seeking out infidelity and unfaithful lovers and murdering them. As far as you can tell, the librarian is a gossipy bitch who did nothing except give the wrong book to the wrong person. But the ghost is on the loose, and now you have kind of some inklings of how to stop a ghost via brute force if you need to, but you also know that if you can further investigate the issue, find out more about this individual, about how they died, about what it is that they are on a quest for vengeance for, and find solutions to that there may be a less violent way to solve this, if that is the route that you choose to go. As the pair of you guys run out of the library, you see that the sun is setting over the campus. It's sort of like the orange pinkish twilight hours. The two of you are walking out of the coffee shop that is the satellite office of the library, kind of discussing what you found and keeping tabs on the others with your remote radios. When those of you who are on campus, you look kind of at a diagonal across the quad towards one of the academic buildings, where you see a woman come running out of the front of the building screaming, and quickly dialing a number on her phone. And as she dials the phone and gets a connection, you hear her say in a panicked voice, you hear her say to who you presume to be the police, "Oh my god, I'm on campus. I was just with my English professor and I don't know what happened, but he's dead. Oh my god, you have to come immediately." There has apparently been another murder. And as you uncover this information, that is where we'll end our session tonight.
That tracks.
That does track.
Oh my god.
I know what the next thing I'm gonna do is.
I know the next thing I'm
I was
doing
waiting.
is.
All right. Well, hey, that's our session tonight. We're gonna call it to a close here. I think I forgot to say so at the beginning of the session, but thank you to the proficiency bonuses sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle, exclamation point CGC and nope, CCG, and exclamation
go.
point. Hey, I got it. Exclamation point CCG and exclamation point Little Dragon to get a link to both of those websites. Little Dragon Corp is a Canadian-based dice company. Cardboard Castle is a brick-and-mortar tabletop RPG store. Both have robust online sites from which you can order things, regardless of your physical location to either of them. And if you order something from Little Dragon Corp, you can use our code BONUS, BONUS, at checkout and get 15% off of your order. Thank you to both of them, and of course, before you go, give a peek to our Extra Life donation widget down there. If you haven't done so already, and you feel that you have the means to, we'd greatly appreciate it if you would drop a couple bucks to Extra Life, as we are doing our yearly stream to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. It is a fantastic cause. We met our goal of $1,000 for this year and surpassed that, which we are infinitely grateful for. But that, of course, does not mean that any further donations are not desperately needed and infinitely appreciated. So thank you, everybody who joined us tonight. Thank you to people who donated. Thank you to people who checked out our sponsors. We will be back on our normal day on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for our regular D&D stream. And then all of the other Probo stuff will stream during normal times during the week. So we hope you come back and join us. And other than that, I have no other business for you. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, and we will see you next time. Bye.